I started with pandas. Like I stopped at explaining functions in Python. So this time around, I want to continue with the pandas. Let me open where this my folder is. Okay, Python library. So let me open. Okay, okay. Yeah, this is what I started with last class, explaining how to import pandas, and I did not really explain what pandas means and why do we use pandas. But I just tried because I did not initially plan to teach pandas. So my initial preparation was to just teach functions, and after function I will stop. Then probably today I will start pandas fully. So okay, just to make a recap, this is just like a general overviews of some libraries in Python, especially when we started working with Microsoft Excel and spreadsheet. We do some visualization, do some data cleaning, do a lot of stuff, plotting graph. And one of the things you'll notice while using Microsoft Excel or spreadsheet is that most of the things we do then is just drag and drop. That is very rare for you to write something. So you just look for the chart, you put in the chart, and the chart will appear. It's only when we introduce some formulas, functions, and when we talked about conditional statement, that's why we need to write some things that you may feel that is complex but not really complex. But that's when you see that, okay, this thing is looking like you are writing a program, writing conditional statement using Microsoft Excel or probably spreadsheet. So now this is just what we call code, and we want to just implement, because here there's nothing you want to do that you, if you did not write the code, you will not get the result. This place there's no drag and drop, there is nothing you can click on. Maybe you want to do pivot table, you have to write how to do pivot, like you have to write the code yourself for pivot table to appear. If you want to do anything, you want to put them in table, you have to write it. If you don't write it, it will not display. So that's just like the difference between programming and using all those Microsoft Excel or spreadsheet functionality. And using this is just like Jupyter Notebook, as we all know, because this is not the first time we started with this, and this is how it works too. If you are using Google Colab, it's just like the same interface. So you will say import pandas anytime you want to use a pandas library or probably another. So you start from by importing them. Then this is just okay. Okay, let me just, don't let me do this. Let me start fully with, let me start with my material, so that I think this one is more simplified than this. Then probably after this I'm going to go back to that. So what is pandas? Pandas is a Python library. We already know, I've told us about that, that we have some libraries in Python that we use for data analysis and data science, from which we have pandas, we have matplotlib, we have numpy, we have scipy, we have sklearn, we have different kind of uh okay, okay, okay. Is it true that we cannot hear me? Somebody said he cannot hear me. Please, if you can hear me, please confirm.
I can hear you, Sam. I
Okay,
can hear you, Sam.
okay, that source is from the person. So please, probably you should leave and try to rejoin. Maybe it's because of network. It will be because of network issue. So like as I said, thank for confirming that you can hear me. So as I said, we have different kind of libraries in Python that we use for our data analysis and data science. When you fully begin to practice, they will become natural, they will become normal, you use them anyhow. So because I can say, for you to really know pandas very well, you can use a year studying pandas alone, because it has a lot of functionality. a lot. You can do a lot, but we just try to give a fundamental knowledge that you can build on when you start working, or probably start working on your own personal project before you get a job, because you need project to get a job. Anybody that want to hire you need to see what you've done before they can believe in you. It's only if you are lucky to see internship, and even internship nowadays, just because now everybody want to learn tech, everybody want to do tech, is getting more competitive to get job, to get so for you to, it's only people that have maybe like opportunity to japa. I think data is one of a good skill outside Nigeria, especially if you have opportunity to go to UK, go to Canada, go to US. Those one, I'm so sure you cannot stay long for you to see job, because everything now, those one believe more in power of data. Like they cannot make a decision without a data driven. So they, most of their decisions are always data driven, so they cannot make decision, especially for company, for organization, different kind. They cannot make decision without their decision is data driven. But here in Nigeria we are not yet there. So most of them, company that really give ears to data analyst or probably data science are few, but it's not as if you will not see. So adding this before you can get a job without a project, they will just see your enthusiasm, like how you are eager to learn it, and they can just put you like do understudy with someone that is already doing it. Then when you catch up, you start with internship, then after that internship you see you get a job. But now things is getting more complicated, so you need to even have up to 2 or 3 projects that you can show, so that they can believe in you and they can pick you. So, and one of the libraries, we what brought me there, so there are a lot of libraries we use. We use Pandas, we use Matplotlib, we use NumPy, we use Seaborn, we use sklearn, we use SciPy, we use different on inside sklearn we have random forest, support vectors, we have decision tree, we have naive bayes, we have a lot of libraries in Python. Even after building a predictive modeling, especially if your focus is data science, there is still some frameworks in Python that you want to learn how to build Flask, Django, that you can integrate your model inside. And for those that their only focus is data analysis, is also nice. So those one you will not like be bothered about learning Flask and Django. So your focus will now be on Pandas, Matplotlib, NumPy, Seaborn, and probably SciPy. So as you learn, you may see the reason to use others that I did not make made mention, because there are many and I cannot even remember everything. So when you see a project that needs arise, once you are familiar with this, it will be very easy for you to navigate your way, checking online and how you can use them and implement them. So back to our today's business. What is Pandas? Pandas is a Python library, just like NumPy, Matplotlib are libraries used for working with data. So basically, the functions of Pandas is to work with data. So it has functions for analyzing, cleaning, so exploring and manipulating data. So basically, these are the functions of Pandas. They are used for analyzing, they are used for cleaning, they are used for exploration and manipulation. So then the name Pandas has reference in both panel data. So Panda Python data analysis, and was created. So this is the person that created the Pandas. And the beauty of Python is all these libraries are open source. So if you really understand how you can use them, you may feel later that a functionality in this library is not what you really enjoy. So you can't because I'm trying to explain the concept of open source. Open source allow you to contribute to them, so you can tell them that there is something you see that the repo will be online on GitHub, where you can just create an issue about pandas to tell them that okay, this thing is not working well but I can fix it. So you do it by contributing to it. So and this the person that first brought the ideas of the libraries in 2008. So why we use pandas? Pandas allow us to analyze big data and make conclusion based on statistics theory. So pandas can clean messy, just like I said, is used for cleaning data, and it make readables and relevant data, which we know that as a data analyst or data scientist, relevant data is very important in data science or in data analysis journey. So data science is also a branch of science which we study how to store, so use and analyze data for driving information from. So we derive information from. So we cannot data science role. That's, I think I talked about it one time. That at times you may be hired as a data scientist and you find out that the job you are doing is a data analyst job. So and they can tag it in that company as a data analysis, a data science role. So most of the time, that's why it's just good to know, to be familiar with the functions and the requirement of each role. So that's it. So what can pandas do? It give you answers about the data, like is there a correlation between two or more column? What is the average value, max value, mean value? You know, now you can relate. When we are working with Excel, you will see that we are looking for maximum, we are looking for minimum. So also in with these pandas, we can find the average, we can find the maximum, we can find the minimum. Pandas is also able to delete row. So even if we want to delete a row, we can delete it using pandas, and not especially rows that are not relevant when you are cleaning your data. So contain wrong value like empty, if those particular rows are empty, so you can use pandas to remove them. So and already explained that those are just like process of data cleaning. So pandas getting started. So installation, when before you use pandas you have to install it. So but just because this anaconda has helped us, we don't need to install it on anaconda, because you can easily import it in this environment without an error. But when it comes to you perform, because at times some may choose to use VS Code. I've seen someone doing some data machine stuff in on VS Code. All those one it cannot work, only you install it, and you can either use pip install pandas or use conda install pandas. So it depends. So but I will advise you stick with Jupyter notebook from anaconda, or probably use Google Colab. So all those one you don't necessarily need to install it, but if you go outside, like if you go outside this, you need to install them, and you can either use pip install pandas or conda install pandas. So if the command fail, then you use Python distribution that already has pandas installed, like just like Anaconda Spider. So Anaconda is a software that we are using that has a Jupyter notebook, and Spider too. At times, especially when I was using Windows, my anaconda has spider, so I can either use a Jupyter notebook or I can go for spider. So two of them dey has pandas installed already, so you don't need to install it, you just need to import it, and you are going to it's going to work. So once pandas is installed, import it. So this is just it. Anytime you want to import all this functionality, you start with import pandas, because if you did not start with this, it's not going to show, so it's not going to work. Now after running this cell, that shows you've installed it. Okay, let me do this. Let me let me restart and clear all output. So after importing it, now import pandas, I can run it now, and it's just going to run for me. So it has run now. That shows I have pandas already. Now pandas is imported and is ready to use. So now this is just what we work with, which are Nigerian election results. So we have names of our presidential candidates. We have Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have Peter Obi, we have Atiku Abubakar, we have Kwankwaso. Then their party, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is from APC, Peter Obi is from Labour, then Atiku Abubakar is from PDP, then Kwankwaso is from NLP, if I'm correct. So I just try to just put them. And if we don't forget that this is just like an examples of dictionary where name is the key and these are just value. And this value is not just a single value, they are value inside a square bracket. So and also this party is a key. This APC, Labour, PDP, NLP, their values and they are inside a list just because they are inside a square bracket. Also vote count, we have 80,000, 60,000, 70,000. So these are just, and you will notice that there is comma here, comma here, comma here. So although here you can delete the comma once that's the end, but before the end here you have to put a comma. But now because this is the last value, so you don't necessarily need it. And you will see that our variable name here is Nigeria underscore election underscore result. So I have to call it back here, although I can put this in different okay, I can just, let me just put it in different column so that we will not get confused. So I can run this now. Then let me create another, let me also create another one. So so let me just quickly do this. Okay, then let me clear this also. So after running it, we see that this is just like a dictionary. Then we run it, we first import pandas. Then now we are now using Nigeria underscore election underscore result equals to the pandas we imported, pandas dot data frame. Then you will see that my data frame starts with capital letter, then this F also starts with capital letter, because if you mix it up it's not going to work. So you put this Nigeria underscore election underscore result inside this bracket. Although the name you can use here can different, but I don't just want to change it. That's why I make this name and this name to be the same. So if I run it now and I run this, so it's going to give me what I imputed. Although I can enlarge this by adding more names, more parties, more vote count. And we can see here that Bola Ahmed Tinubu APC 80,000, Peter Obi Labour Party 60,000, Atiku Abubakar PDP 70,000, Kwankwaso NLP which is 20,000. So we can see the output of Pandas here. Pandas turn this dictionary and list to what we can see in a tabular format. So moving on, pandas are speedy. So instead of we using import pandas, and you can see we repeated pandas here, we can also use alias, just like putting it in a short form. So just like import pandas as pd. So anytime we want to use pandas, we only use pd instead of pandas. So if I run it now the pandas package can be reversed to as pd. So instead of pandas again, this now anywhere I use pd is going to represent pandas, because I said import pandas as pd. So this pd is taking position of pandas. So looking into this example, you see import pandas as pd. Then also what we did the other time, let me just quickly do that again. Let me copy this. So let me copy this. So you see now Nigerian election result. So if I run this, and this now election underscore Nigeria underscore election result equals to pd dot data frame, we put it. So instead of pandas here, you will see that we only use pd dot data frame, just like the way we did it the first time. So if I run it and I run this, you see that it work the same way. So we can see name, parties, foot count, and also see the same here. But you will notice that we use pd here instead of pandas. So that's just like, then we can also check for the version of pandas we are working with. So this here giving us, because at times you may have reason to upgrade your pandas, because most of the time they give. So there was time we are using maybe one pandas 1.11, or pandas 1.1.2, or pandas 1.2.2, or even pandas 1.4.3. So at times you may need to upgrade, but it's better to just check the versions of pandas you are working with. Probably you are okay, especially when you are working with tensorflow. Tensorflow is also a library with a library from python. So most of the time tensorflow you may need to upgrade it once you dictate the kind of once you dictate the versions that you are working with, and you probably feel that is not okay, and at times it may be causing a lot. And I remember cbon, I was trying to implement something using cbon one time like that what I was trying to write is not working, and I really need to upgrade it for it to work. So things like that, you may face a challenge like that for what you want to implement to work, you have to upgrade the library. So checking the version will make you to know. Now also this is another thing, you can work with pandas series and index by using something like this: import pandas as pd, a equals to this number, then my var equals to pd dot series. So you know the first one we work with pd dot data frame. So now we are working with uh, we are working with we are working with what can I say. So now we are working with, instead of series, abi the first time we are working with data frame, but now we are working with series. So and let's see the difference between them. So you can see now that we have, here we have x, y, z. Now the index, that is in this kind of scenario, you can put the index yourself. You know, you will notice something here, that the index starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this index, you may want it to start from 1, or you may want it to start at any number. So here I just use index as x, y, z, whereas I can use it to be number. I can change, I can put ax, like I can put this x here. Okay, I can, instead of 127, so I can put the index. You shall know the index is just like the position of each and every one of them. So x, the position of 1 is x, then the position of 7 is y. So I was the one that put this index, which is x, y, z, and this a is just 1 7. So just like here, you see the index here is 0 for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is APC, 80,000 votes. Then the index of 1 is Peter Obi, Labour. Index of 2 is Atiku Abubakar. So this index automatically added to our data frame. But when you are working with series, PD series, so you see, you can probably tone or give the kind of index that you want. And I think PD has different functionality. I think there's a way we use, okay, if it's going to work. Okay, now you will see some of what we can use with pd. We can use api, we can use arrays, be date range, boolean data type, categorical data type, categorical index, compat, concat, call, crosstab. We have cut, we have data frame. You see, we've worked with data frame, but we have date range, we have date offset, we have data time index, we have date time tz date type. So we have describe options, we have error, we have ever, we have excel file, we have excel writer, we have factorize, we have flag. So these are just like, I'm just trying to show us the endless possibility of working with pandas. So these are just like the functionality that you can use with pandas, and the only thing I've explained is how to use it with data frame. And I think use it with, okay, what else, you can use it read under JSON, HTML, this underscore CSV. You can use it with plotting, you can use it with pivot, you can see pivot table here. So these are just like endless. So if you want to learn pandas well, you have to pick them one after the other, know what they means and how you can implement them. So I just try to show that so that you can see how big pandas is. So here now you can actually map your, you see here, just like this key, day one is key, this 420 is number, day two is key, 380 is value, day three is key. So here too we can actually use pd dot series instead of using our normal data frame, and let's see the result. So you can see the result here that I just show day one, which is 420 calorie, day two, which is 380, day three, which is 390. So these are the uh, these are the days and the these are the days and the calories burned each days. So you can either map it this way round, or you can do it the way I did it here. Just like, you know, this one too is like but just because this has a lot of information, just like mapping this index zero to Bola Ahmed Tinubu APC 80,000, then Peter Obi with labour with this. So that's why this is kind of many, and we can even do it more than this. So but here we are just only mapping it, like mapping the day and the calorie, and we can ex ten d it more than that, and you can see the one this. So pandas series, this is just like I'm showing the difference between panda data frame and pandas uh, series. So create a data frame from two series. So how can you do it? So the like how you can do something like that is by you will see here that we have calories, we have duration. Calories we have 420, 380, 390. Duration we have 50, we have 40, we have 45. Then my var equals to pd dot data frame. Now I'm using data frame from the two series. This is just like a series, then I'm trying to use a pandas data frame. So let me see what is going to happen here. So you will see here that we have calories, which has this particular numbers, we have duration, which has this, just like the one we are working with. So this, anything here will be the header, just like the features. Calorie has these features, calorie has this rows, and duration has this rows. So also all these ones are just like data you created. Probably you dey take sample of data that you just be the one to impute manually. This is how you are going to go about it. But if, just like when we are working with Microsoft Excel, you will see that most of the data we work with, while importing it, like bringing it to Microsoft Excel. And also you can work on Excel by imputing those data manually. But here, just like the way we did it on Microsoft Excel, by importing it, you can either import it or you can actually impute data in Excel manually or spreadsheet, and you can also import data to Microsoft Excel. Here it works in Python the same way. So you can either, the way we type data manually here, you can also, so now I have a sales 3 data set, which is CSV. You can see now that I've used pd dot series, I've used pd dot data frame. Now I'm now using pd dot read underscore CSV, and the reason why I'm using pd dot read underscore CSV is that the data I want to import to this environment is a CSV data, that is comma separated value. It may be a normal Excel file that it will not be CSV, and it may be CSV. So just because this one is CSV, there's a way you know it, at least the extension of that particular data. So once you see it, and another thing is any data you are importing, is either you import it using the directory, that is the position where the data is on your laptop, or you put the data in the folder where you want to create a file, a python file that you want to code with. So if you created a folder where you put the data and you try to locate it using this, now okay, using this you will see here that the data I want to work with is sales3.dis, that is in inside this python library folder. That's why I'm importing it this way. Where is it? That's why I'm importing it. If it's not in that, so you have to copy the part where the the file is or the data is, then you copy it here, then you can read it. And also note that once it's .csv, you have to use pd.read_csv. And I show, okay, I can still show that again by using pd dot, let me press tab to show. So here I just want to show, I want to show, okay, you will see here that read, you will see this read, we have read underscore clipboard, then we have read underscore csv, we have read underscore excel. I'm using csv underscore csv just because my data has the extension of csv. Your data can ask extension of xlsx, so at times you use excel for that. It can be underscore feeders, it can be underscore fwf underscore gbq, it can be underscore hdf, it can be, you may even import an excel html file. html file is a website file, so probably the data that you want to work with is on is on html file. Okay, I'm coming, I'll give space for asking of question. Just give me some minutes, so let me quickly finish what I want to do here. So it can be .csv the way I just show it, so they are endless. It depends on the, that's why I think there's one time I was explaining that you can even import a video data set. So a video, you can import a video. I've imported an image before, so you can import an image like a real image. Then I was working on one computer vision, how to write python code that recognize image, so we call it computer vision. So you can import image like, so different kind of large images you can import it, but here we are working with data. So, and don't forget the extension. So if I run it now, it's going to show. So here now you can see that this what is in this data. We have day, date, day, month, year, customer underscore age underscore group, customer gender, we have country, we have state, we have product category, we have subcategory, we have product, we have other quantity, we have unit, we have unit price, we have profit, then we have cost and revenue. So these are just the details in that particular data. And I also look for another data which has xlx extension. That is, you will see that here this one has .csv, that's why we use read underscore csv. So just because this one is .xlx, so we will use read underscore excel, because if you did not follow this, you will see that it's not going to bring what you wanted. So most of the time you need to follow the syntax. So if I run this now, I'm waiting for it to load, so it's going to give me a result now. So I think the data is kind of large, so it will take some time to process. So let's just wait for it. So immediately the data load now, I will probably give space for asking of question, then I will answer it, then I will try to use some other things with this particular functionality, like how to use more pandas that will not be limited to this. Then after that we'll call it a night. So the next class I will try, or probably if there is still time I can just do numpy, because numpy does not really have much like that. So I will just try to explain how you can use numpy. Then immediately I explain that I'm going to I'm going to stop at numpy. If there is time I will surely explain numpy. Then once I explain numpy, we are going to look forward to matplotlib maybe in our next class. And this class is recorded, so I will upload it. I did not really have time to make a record of this particular class uh, before the time, so that's how I'm recording the live. So you have to watch the duration of the class. So I'm going to upload it after the class. So don't let us wait on this. As this is loading, let me give room for answering of asking of question. So if you have anything you want to ask about what I've done, you can easily ask your question before this load and before I continue.
Thanks for giving us address. So, my own question was, I wanted to ask if you wanted to import this type of data to Google Colab, how are we going to do it? That is my own concern. Thank you.
Okay, if you want to import it to Google Colab, what you are going to do is you are going to let me just show. I think that I need to show it because okay, let me try to show it. Okay, let me show it. I'm coming. So once this show, you already know something is here where we have uh Google product. So I just want to quickly, so you can click on your drive. So I'll click on my drive here. So when you click on your drive, it's just going to load. Okay, I'm trying to confirm if I did not mute my mic. So here now you see, after clicking your drive, you see something called add, this add button. So you can click on add button here. So when you click on this, it's going to show something. I'm waiting for it to respond. I don't know why it's not responding. Okay, I think it's still loading. So it's still loading. We have to wait a bit. So this is still loading. The drive is still loading. So just let me so that I will not waste my time with this. I don't know why my drive is doing this way. So when you click on this, it's going to give you an options of maybe add file or you are adding a folder. So you can either add a file or you can add a folder. So that file that you are adding, is your probably your data, or you put the data in a folder. Because if you click on this adding this respond now, it would have given me, okay, you can see now file upload. So I can click on file now. So if I click on file, I want to click on file. So you see it's going to load and display something. You will see now immediately I click on file, it brought me to my my laptop, asking me that what do I want to import. So here I will, but this is just like a Mac sha, but if it is window it may bring all this desktop, document, download, and you already know where your file is on your own laptop, so it will be more easier for you to locate them. So here I want to look for where that particular data is. So I want to look for the data. Okay, let me click on library, then let me click on this cell. So clicking on it now is going to load. So here, so just like that's just the way I think it's loading, and I don't know why it's just taking much time like this. Okay, let me re click it. So that's just like the process of actually adding data. I don't know why the drive is just, and I don't want it to waste our time. I don't know why my drive is actually doing this way. So I will just look for Google Colab here and use probably existing data I have already. So Google Colab. So when you click on Google Colab, it's just going to load the environment for you. So once it load this, we can click on file. I think it's still loading. So you can click on file and click on new notebook. So when you click on new notebook, it's going to load a new environment for you. I don't know why this my network is just too slow. So you see now that it has already displayed, so I can just use my import pandas. So I can just use pd, so that I will not waste time. So then you can run it, it's going to run. So once e run, you click. Okay, we are still waiting for it, it's still allocating. So it's still allocating. So I think it's initializing now. So immediately, okay, now it's now connected. So once it's connected, it will be much easier for us to perform anything we want to do. So I will click on here just to copy something. I will only copy one here, so that we will not, so that I will just show. So it's just actually the same thing, not something really difficult. So I will click on here. So me adding another cell, I will click on code here, because it's code I actually want to add. So once it respond now, I'm waiting for it to respond.
To save our time, I think we cannot continue. I got that aspect of loading the drive, loading
Okay,
into the drive. So we can now continue with it. Thank you
okay,
very much.
yeah. Because the reason why it's kind of slow is because of the software I'm using. That software is kind of powerful. That's why it's not making sense that way. Okay, let me interrupt this.
Which software is that, please?
Eh, we call it quick time player. It's called quick time player. So, but it's only available on MacBook. It's a built-in software for MacBook. We call it quick time player. So that's how it's.
Okay, so but to work with Panda, you just need Pandas and Google collab, right?
And you can, if you have your Jupyter notebook in your Anaconda, you don't necessarily need Google Colab. We are just trying to replicate the same thing on Google Colab. If you have your Jupyter notebook perfectly fine in your Anaconda, you don't need Google Colab. But if it's Google Colab you want to go with, you don't need Jupyter notebook from Anaconda. So it's either any option. And the reason why I can recommend Jupyter notebook from Anaconda is because when you are working on this you don't need internet. But if you are working with what is it called, if you are working with Google Colab you always need to be connected. It's because my network and this software I'm using, that's why you can see that it's very very slow there. But hadn't be I did not actually use the software, it will be very faster. But that you can't do it without internet. That's just the difference. So you can stick to your Jupyter notebook from your, but they are the same command, the same thing we write here. That's what you're going to write at that Google Colab too. So this data is kind of large, that's why I have to interrupt it to stop it not to load so that it will not waste our time. So this if is .xlx, you use pd.read_excel. So this is what we use, but I just stop it not to waste our time. Let me cut it because the data is kind of large. I think maybe 19 something rows or something. I mean maybe 100 and something thousand row. So that's why it's getting too long for it to load. But it will definitely load, but I don't really want it to waste our time. So here now we've actually bring, like we've import this. Now as a data analyst I may want to check for check, I'm coming please, a minute. So I may want to check as a data analyst. I just quickly check something on my WhatsApp, sorry. So I may want to this revenue, I may want to check the highest revenue. So how can I do it? The name of my the variable name here is df. So I can just use df dot max. So if I use okay, let me just use, if I use df dot max, that shows the highest value out of everything, but that will not really make sense. So I can just use this df, then I will df, I'll just put square bracket, then put it can be single column, single quote, and it can be double quote. So it depends on what you, just be consis ten t with anything you use. So that's the beauty of it. So revenue, so df square bracket revenue, then dot revenue dot max. So if I run this, it's going to tell me that the highest revenue here is five 58,074. So I can easily check for the maximum number using this particular functionality, and I can also do it again to check the minimum revenue. So this is just like me doing the what is it called, doing data analysis process, like me getting to know my data set. So if I use dot mean, it's going to tell me that the lowest revenue is 2, and you can see that this will be error. Can a minimum revenue to be 2? So you will see that probably something is getting wrong in your data, and I can do df.info to check the information in my data. Okay, let me add to it, let me add this to it so that I will see it in more good way. So here now you can see now that all the features I have from my data, I have date, I have day, I have month, I have year, I have customer age, I have age group, and you will see that in front of them, for date we have object, for day we have int 64, for month we have object, for year we have int. And you notice something, as a data analyst you will see that this object for date should not be object, it should be date because we call it date. if we try to perform something on this, it may give us error because this date is not date, is update. So you have to change it. So me running this code make me to realize that okay, my date is update, not date. My day is integer, day is integer, day should be integer, you know, a number without a decimal point. And my month too is update. Is either if my month is in alphabet or text type, that shows it should be in what is it called, it should be in, okay, if it's in text type, object is still okay. But if my month is a number, that shows I have to change it to either float or integer. So my year also, my year is integer, you can see this is perfectly fine. Customer age is integer, it's perfectly fine. Age group is object, that's also perfectly fine. So here I need to confirm if I will use this code to confirm. Then another thing is checking if my data has a missing value. I will just say df dot is null, open bracket, then dot sum. So if I run this code, now, you will see that me running def dot is null dot sum, I have that in my data, in my date I have zero missing value. In my day I have zero missing value. In my month I have zero missing value. You see that everything, revenue here I has zero missing value. So those are just like possibilities of things you can do with your data. Then also let me do something. What can I do again? So I can do, okay, here we have product category, so and we have ancestry. I think, okay, let me just use this product category, product, let me just copy it. Okay, don't let me copy it sef, let me write something, dot columns. Okay, now me using df dot columns give me the names of all the columns, all the features I'm working with. So here I can easily pick my my product category, just like df square bracket products, products underscore category, then I can do value underscore count. Okay, I think I missed something, that's why it's showing error. Okay, let me read the error. If we have likewise, take the index. Okay, let me try something. Let me use unique. Wow,
Hello?
wow, wow.
Hello?
Hello, you want to say
Yeah, I
something?
don't know if I'm wrong though, but I think the issue there is that the product is supposed to be with a capital letter P. I
Okay,
don't know if I'm right.
okay, you're actually right.
Okay.
Thank you. I would have just been banging my head around it, and I would not know that this is the silly. So that's just like thanks for correcting me. Thanks for that. So you will see now that when you are coding at times, a single mistake like this can put one into trouble. So now I will just keep running it, and I will not take note that this is just like a slight error or just like this mistake. So here I will just use, so that shows we are really following. I love that. So product underscore category dot value underscore count. I don't know if s, but if s is not there, actually. So you can see now that the uniqueness, when we are working with Microsoft Excel, that's why it's always good to understand this, as how you see that this is just like a repetition of what you've done before, but we are just doing it in another language. You see now that product underscore categories dot unique, that is, we are checking for the uniqueness of each value in that features, to source as we have accessory, we have clothing, we have bike. So those are just like categories under that product category. Then I use value count to count, to just do some counting of that particular value, that is how many time accessory appears in my data. So here I can see that I have 70,120. Then bikes, I have this, but this may not really make sense. I can just say dot plot. So if I use dot plot, and let's see what will happen, so that we can see it more clearly. Let's see me using dot plot. Let me see what is going to show. Okay, let me interrupt it. Okay, so two pack, so that shows this is not allowing us to plot it, but at least you can actually see it here. You can see, it, like you can see it here, what they really means, and you can see how they are. So here now, so what can I do? So my month also, I can try to check the at times there may be a mistake in our data, like our month or year. So I can use year, checking what is going on in my year, dot dot unique. So if I run the unique now, you see that the only year that we have 2003, we have 2015, then we have 2014. So we can also do this. We can do this df year dot unique. So instead of that, we can just do value count, value underscore count. Then this counting the numbers of year. So 2014 has the highest, occurs the most out of the years, and then we have 2016, we have 2013, we have. So you can see now that after 2015. So let me try to use plot here, if it's going to work. Plot, then kind, let me use equals to bar. Okay, I think it's possible I'm messing up with something, so I'm going to find out that before next class. It's possible I'm messing up with something. So you can see now, you can see the value count of our years. So we can do endless stuff around all this, and do some, we can play around with so many things here too. Also, we have bike rank. So this subcategory too, you can just want to know the one that have the highest, that occur the most. Then this particular country, you can tend to know the numbers of country, like the types of country that occurs. So here I can just use df, just like me knowing what is going on in my particular data. So country dot value count, or let me just use unique. So if I run this unique, you will see that what we only have here, like, people buy products from Canada, from Australia, from United States, from Germany, from France, from United Kingdom. So I can check, instead of unique, I can use value underscore count. So if I use value dot count, this value dot count will show me the numbers of country, like the times of occurrence of each country. That is, United States comes in 36,206. Then Australia comes in this. You see this number, like this is showing the numbers of occurrence of each and every country. So you can easily grade it that, okay, probably there is more sales in United States and there is more sales uh, in Australia. But I'm going to do something now. Let me check the now in this particular thing we have profit. So let me check the highest profit here. Let me use profit, and I want to trace where that particular profit comes from. So profit dot max. So me using profit dot max we show where we show we show where the highest we show the highest place where the uh, so I'm going to do it now. So now 096. So now you see what I did now. You see, this is just like the beauty of writing Python code. This is just like the same way, like the way we worked with. You will see, I believe we are getting more interested in this. So please just give me 1 minute. I want to plug my laptop. It's going down already. So I believe we are already getting interested in this particular language, because even me that I'm doing it, I'm kind of excited, because it's just like the way we are working with what is it called then, Microsoft Excel. Although this is my own best language, this is my own best language. I really love it. This is my best tools, rather. This is my best tools of doing analysis. You can see now that I check for my profit, which has the highest profit. Like, the highest profit, the maximum profit is 15,096, and I want to trace the particular product or the particular country that has the highest profit, and even the product category that have the highest product. And me doing this, you can see now that I can trace it, that okay the age group adult of 35 to 60, they are the one that bought something that has the highest profit. And we can see here that the highest profit happen in Australia, and people that that bought something that lead to highest profit, they are male, and the category is cloth. That is, people tend to spend more money on cloth, and the sub category is first. And you can see here that other quality, this is it, the unit code, and the profit is this, which, and we can see the cost, this is the cost, this is the revenue that generate the highest profit. I can easily pick it out by checking this. So now I can also check for the lowest profit. So if I just use, okay, profit dot max. So if I, okay, sorry, if I use mean, which is the minimum, so once I run it, you will see here that the minimum profit is minus 10. And can minus 10 be a minimum profit? Okay, let me ask question here. Who can say anything about the minimum profit, which is minus 30? So what does it mean when a profit is minus minus 30? So who can say anything about that? Who can say anything about that?
Okay, let me try. I don't think it's actually profit. I think it's a loss already. Maybe there is a shortage. Instead of take for example, if the price of the goods is 1,000 naira and then they're going to sell it at rate of 700, that's minus 30 already, or minus 300. So I don't know.
Okay.
That's my own observation.
Okay, thank for your contribution. So who else want to contribute to this? So who can contribute to this? Nobody?
I think to process what you said, to process what you said, minus 30 simply means the profit is being decreased. Decreased method or decreased scale.
Okay, okay. So what just like two of our people that contribute to this, the the best answer should be like, we should call it lost instead of profit, but it's still under profit. But that shows, instead of, there is a particular product that they sold that leads to loss instead of profit. Then I will try to figure that out by looking for that. So I will copy this here so that I will not retype it. I will just paste it here, and I will put minus 30. And this can be, at times it can be error, it can be errors at times, and it may be genuine, but we have to trace it out that, okay, we have the minimum profit of minus 30, which that's lost. That shows probably on that particular product the company had a loss instead of making profit. So by writing this code, I will try to figure it out now by looking for that. So here they have the profit of minus 30. And what is the category? You can see here that the category is clothing, but the subcategory is jersey. That is jersey. On jersey, they did not make profit, they only make loss. Like, the company run to loss on that, because the unit price of it is 54, and the cost is the cost is 1302, and the revenue is 1272. So the unit price is 54 and the unit cost is 42. So minusing it from each other, that's what brought this profit. And okay, if I may ask, how can we get a profit? I believe a profit should be, uh because this can be error at times. So I have to do, okay, this is what the profit should be: cost minus revenue. Is it cost minus revenue? Am I correct with that? Is it cost minus revenue?
It's revenue minus cost. That's selling price minus cost price.
Okay, thank you. So I think if I have money, I should be giving gifts to people that answer questions very well in this class. But right now, I do not have money. I should have been appreciating people that respond to my question. So, okay. So me just trying to, so we can see here that the calculation was not wrong because our revenue is 1272 and our cost is 1302, and I'm trying to minus them, putting profit here. Then I saw that my result is minus 30. So that shows they make a loss instead of profit. So this is just like analytical thinking. We are trying to know what is going on in our data, and we can also trace it that what kind of country or which country that this particular loss occur. We can see that the loss occur in France, it occur in the country is France and the state is Yville line, or don't let me murder their name, and the person that bought the product is a female. So and the age range is 25 to 34. So the age range of the particular lady is between, so here now you can easily, probably you want to, and you can see that the year is 2015. So if your hiring manager is just, or abi your stakeholder or your business owner, they are trying to know what is going on in their particular data, seeing this, you have an information that you want to give already. So what else can I do? Let me see from the features. What can I do? Okay, I can actually check for the value count of adults for age range, age underscore group. So I can use df equals to age underscore group, then I can use value underscore count. So if I use value underscore count, okay, I think I've made a mistake again. So and I think all these two that I did not add, that I was unable to add a plot to them, I can easily plot them now. Let me try to add this to it. Plot, okay, and if this does not work, that shows there's something I'm messing up with. Okay, so I will work on that. It's been a while I've analyzed data. I'm just using a normal, I'm just trying to remember some of the functionality. So age group now, you can see here that the age group that we have adult, we have young adult, then we have youth. So the adult is between 35 to 64, and you can see the numbers of adults here. You can see that in this particular sales, people that tend to participate more, they are the adults between the age of 35 to 64. That is, they are 55,824. They occur more. That this is just like the numbers of which they occur in that particular sales. And we have young adults, which is 25 to 34. You can see that the numbers of their occurrence is 38,654. And when it comes to youth now, less than 25, you can see that they, and this can be that adult people, they are working class and they have money, that's why they are able to patronize that particular product, or probably they love what they are selling, that's why they have the highest number of participants. Or the youth one, which are less than 25, it may be that the product they are selling is what they don't really care about, or probably they don't have money, they've not started working. It may be of different reasons. So what can I know? What did I need to know here? And okay, let me see and check the month that have the highest. Okay, let me use, okay. Should I let me check for month also. Let me check the occurrency of month and know the month that occurs the most. Okay, let me just use dot. The reason why I'm using value count is because they are not in numbers, they are text. That's why. That's why I'm just doing value count just to count them, count the number they occur. You can see here that June occur most. So we have more, probably more sales in June than other years. And in December we have one. So after June, December follow, and we have May, we have April, we have March, we have January, and the least one here is July. So this can just give us an overview. So let me still use this. But after this, if this does not respond, I will not bother myself again. So, okay, but column label name. So I think there's okay, and I can actually let me quickly try. Let me try by googling it how to use this plot with value. So let me see and see what I'm actually missing of. So def dot my this, then the value, then dot plot, then bracket kind. So method 2. So value count. So the column. Okay, okay. Is it? Yeah, it should be the same now. Dot value count, then dot plot. Okay, probably I should change this way. Let me change it this way. Let me go by this and see if that's the mistakes I made. So what am they now trying to say? Df dot my this dot column dot then after value count. So let me let me try to paste it here. So plot value count in descending order. Order equals to df dot. So df dot by column name, it is month, then dot value underscore count, then this, then dot plot equals to kind. Okay, I will try to look for
Why can't you try and use the extensions PLC?
the extension was okay. let me just don't let me I will do more of this when we start plotting. So don't let me just disturb us with this. I will check on it before another class. So now we can see here that June has the highest, followed by December, followed by, so these are just like counting of the numbers of their currency. And you can see here that we find out that the minimum profit is so we can also check for the maximum revenue and test where the revenue is coming from. So if I say revenue dot max, so if I say dot max and if I say df square brackets revenue, okay, I have to say equals to 58,074. So if I run this, you can see here that the highest revenue is 558,074, and we can easily trace it out that what particular country gave the highest revenue, which you can see that is Australia. The state is Queensland. The product category is clothing, while the subcategory is first. Then the product we have touring 1,000 yellow and green. So these are just like the details, and I can also go by checking for, I can also do it this way, revenue dot mean. So we have the minimum revenue is 2, and we can trace out that where does that come from. So if I run it now, so you will see that here sef this revenue, which is 2, has the highest, like it occurs several times. So you can see here that they have a lot of 2222 revenue, and we can see that we have in California, we have in Washington, we have in New South Wales, and we have in Saint, which is Paris. So these are just like just you getting to know what is going on in your particular data. So I'm going to stop here. So any questions regarding what I've actually explained, so they are welcome so that I can easily explain it, and you can call the class a night.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Bayomi.
Okay, good evening.
Okay, I've not been following. I think from the beginning of this pandas class, I wanted to ask, this pandas, are we going to install it through Anaconda or just go to the Jupyter notebook and do import pandas? I don't know.
Okay, if you are working with Anaconda that I'm working with, you don't necessarily need to install it, you just need to import it because it's already available, so you only import
Oh,
it.
okay.
But if you are using another software apart from Anaconda or probably Google Colab, you have to install it. That's why so
Okay.
you either use pip install pandas. This is just like a Python functionality, which is pip install pandas or conda install pandas. So but here is readily available, you don't need it, you just only need to import it. But there are some libraries that is not readily available, just like if you are working with TensorFlow, it's not readily available in Jupyter Notebook, you have to install it. Although that one is a complex, especially if you want to learn about natural language processing or you want to learn about computer vision, that's when we use TensorFlow and Python. Those ones, they are not readily available, or OpenCV, you have to install it. But all these normal Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib and Seaborn, they are readily available. You don't need to install it, you just need to import it. Are you clear with that?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Then, sorry, just hold on here. I saw where you put comma. Is the comma, does it, what's the comma for? After the end of the square bracket, you put comma. Is it
So
to separate the rows and column, or I don't know?
okay, what commas means, just like in English, commas means that I'm going to a place but I want to rest a bit. What commas means here is that after Bola Ahmed, then this, I still have other things that I want to include in my data. That's why after this I put comma, after this I put comma, then after this you see I did not add comma because I'm stopping here. If I'm to add another thing here, if I want to put probably let me add school. You see now that, let me add school. So you see now that I've added comma here just because I want to add school, and I can easily write, okay, let me just give them school that they graduated from. Let me just randomly assign name of schools to them. Let me say OAU. Let me add Unilag. And also note that you see that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, Kwankwaso, they are four, and this party too, they are four, which is APC, Labour, PDP. Because once they are not equal, there will be error. There will be error. So you have to make it equal. Maybe also then what? Let me say covenant. Me just assigning. You see here that I did not necessarily need to put comma here. So if I run this now and rerun this and run this again, so you will see now that school has been added, which the first person has OAU, the second person has Unilag, the third person has Uni also, the last person has Covenant. So you see that here before we did not add comma here because this is not the last anymore. We need to add school, we have to put comma. So comma is just like I'm still going to write some program. So I'm just, this is not the head of what I'm doing. But immediately you get to head here, you don't need to add comma again. Do you understand now?
Okay, so yeah, I understand. So what if we don't add the comma? What will happen to bring
There will
out
be
error,
error.
right?
Yes, there will be error. We can
Oh,
I can
okay.
try it.
Mm.
Let me remove the comma and let me you can see it here now. Do you see now? Just because
Yeah, yeah.
school invalid syntax. But if I add the comma again, it's going to work perfectly fine. So that's just the beauty of it.
All right, that's fine. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So any more question? Any more question? Then let me quickly ask about the progress of the assignment, because some message me that probably they are not really following the class before. They just have to probably try to revisit and just get their feet on ground. So how is the progress? Is it really making sense? Although I've not checked the numbers of inputs now, but I just want to do the screening together, and later we are going to do some presentation. I'm going to make it like it will be in form of presentation after this project. I'm going to give another one, although that's when probably when I've explain all this particular stuff. So when you now want to do it, it will now be a team whereby somebody will represent your team to, we even, it's possible we invite the founder, the HR for this particular startup, the particular organization, to just check, okay, this, like, just for most of them to join the call and see what, how far we've gone and what we've achieved. So it will be a presentation form whereby they will be there. You will share your screen explaining your insights. You can also allow some members of your team to also speak up and say one or two things, so that it will not be on a particular person. But I will surely try my best to explain all these concepts, so that you can bring them together to build a project. I will also build a project here, just like the way I did for Excel. So you see how it's being done, then you will use that as a guide to work on your own project. So anything.
Okay, then I noticed in that cargo, although I've submitted my assignment, but I just want to, keep on practicing, like joining the challenge and stuff. But I noticed that majority of all those things, they will have to use Python to write all those
Yes,
um questions.
basically don't say omo na. Basically challenge, most of those challenge are paid, so they pay up to like $3,000, even more than that, if you are lucky to win. And you must be very very good at writing code. They use Python most of the
Yeah,
time, or probably R. I think some use R to submit their insight too. So it's a nice place. You joining it at first, I'm so sure you have to be there for more than 6 months before you be able to get along, because most of the code I'm writing there, they are simple to follow, but you will see their own most of the time. Even if you are coding, you have to take your time to understand it, because another opportunity for it is you can learn from the one they've submitted. If I want to work on a project now, and probably a project that has a data on cargo, I can check their notebook to check what somebody has done about it. So maybe I can see some insight or some code I can just try to manipulate and add to my own. So it's just like process of you participating and you learning. And there is also this particular platform too. I don't know, maybe I saw Cindy.Africa. Cindy Africa. Okay. Cindy.Africa. Kaggu is all over the world, but Cindy.Africa is just for African country. Any African country, they are able, although I think some other countries are, they do participate too, but most important, they are African challenge, Africa. And I think I've participated in how many? Maybe up to like 10. I just want to be more serious this year, because I've been away from it. I joined this platform more than 2 years ago now. So I've been kind of far from it. So I just want to be kind of serious this time, so that I can participate more. So all these things we always give you, just like it will help you to challenge yourself. Okay, this is my own stats. I think my rank, I have the best rank of 601. You will see it's very far. I have make the competition 44 submission. I've joined 6 competition. I've joined 2 hackathon, and I've won 1 bronze medal. So these are beautiful in the way that probably I'm applying for a job now. Okay, these are competition I've enrolled for. To fasten or not fasten is not a question. So this is just like helping out when those times that they are imposing vaccine on people to take. So there's a challenge about it, and we try to use all these particular things to try if we can use code to predict, like just to know if people are going to take the vaccine or not. So now just a pothole image on the road. So this also is a South African challenge. So we are trying to write the code, and these are just like performance, I think 35 over. So these are okay. Imagine me applying for a job now, and I just give a URL of this, so they can easily track my progress and the like. And this also you can learn, you can join it too. You can just sign up and try, but don't be overwhelmed sha. Rome is not built in a day. That's what I always tell people. Rome is not built in a day. So just take your time to have the skill first. Then don't be overwhelmed with anybody's success or anybody's progress, because once you are overwhelmed, or probably you are comparing yourself, you will start getting imposter syndrome. It is bad. So but Cargo too is a very nice place. It's a very nice place, but you have to be good with Python very very well, because all other tools, especially Power BI, Tableau, Microsoft Excel, those ones are just drag and drop. But here you have to write the code gangan before you be able to do something. So you have to take time to familiarize yourself with all those commands. Ah,
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
So are you giving us a video recording?
Share of this class.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually recording this live class. So immediately I finish, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. So I will share the link to the group.
Okay, now thank you very much.
You're welcome. So I'm going to share the link. I'm going to share the link. Everything is being recorded. I didn't be have recorded this before. I shouldn't have recorded, but I think it's even more okay, because all these things I'm doing, I did not even prepare it. So they are just coming and we are doing it. So I think it's more okay than me even record at times. But there are some fixed topic that I know that is what I have in the materials I'm going to teach. Those ones I can do the recording before the class. But if I'm working on something that I know that during the class so many things can come in, so I will not record it just like this one. So I'm going to upload this, but before to I mean by tomorrow before tomorrow evening we should get the link. So any more question, or we are cool with this? And any challenge with our project or the assignment we are working on? Any challenge? I think we don't really like to talk. So if there is nothing, let's call it a night then. This already 8:54. So I even have some kata I want to rest. if we did not have if we did not have question. Ah, I actually want to postpone this class before, but I don't want to, so that I will not be thinking of how to fix it again. I'm kind of tired today. So so let's call it a night if there's no question. Good night everybody.
Sorry about your catastrophe.
Alright, thank you. Thank you so much. So good night everybody. And if you have a challenge, you can do way to reach out to me on WhatsApp. So that I will release the PDF for this. I'm going to send it in case you want to practice and check the source code. So that, because you cannot be memorizing it, so you can just open the source code and be typing it so that you see. And if you face a challenge, you can just let me know. So
All my messages on WhatsApp, you haven't replied everything. Mr.
ah
Bayo, hope
if
I've now
if
offended
if
you.
if I did not reply, please always tag me on the group abeg. Like most of the time, a lot of messages at times, please tag me on the group that you send me a message o. So immediately it's because I always check that WhatsApp group, and most of the chat I don't really go by, especially when you send message and I'm not on WhatsApp at that time. When other people have sent message, the message would have go down. So please just tag me on the group that I sent you a message. I'll quickly go and just look for that message and get back to you. So maybe we should be doing that. If you see that you did not see my message, or you are expecting me to message you and I did not respond, just tag me. If you tag me, I'm going to check it. But tonight I will not be able to answer anybody because I want to rest. So probably tomorrow. If I did not reply, please tag me so that I can look for your message. So if there is no question, good night everybody.
Good night.
Nice.
Good night.
Yeah, good night. Oh, hope we learn something tonight, Sha.
Yes, so I learned a lot, sir. Good night.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. Good night.